Hello, this is a quick look at the LEGO Star Wars logo set. It's the Star Wars set of 2025 that I'm personally most likely to keep beyond 2025. Does not come with random minifigure, I just put that there for scale, but I did pay $60 US for this. It's 60 euros, 70 British pounds for some reason, or $80 Canadian. If I saw this box on a shelf in a store, I probably wouldn't realize quite what it was because it just kind of looks like a placeholder that's just a logo. You know, it's just being like, hey, Star Wars stuff over here, but then there's this additional Star Wars logo down here. It does say Lego on it, but yeah, that's actually the set and what it's about. Hopefully not too many people will get confused by that. Simply put, for the most part, what you see is what you get. It's a pretty accurate, and I'll talk about the accuracy and demonstrate just in a moment, pretty accurate shaping of all of the letters here. It's a choice to go with the full solid yellow because probably the Star Wars logo that people are more used to that has yellow in it has just an outline. You know, basically it's the yellow and black version of that right there. But they went with this because, well, the scale isn't immense, obviously, so you're very limited in what you can actually do with Lego. And I'm really, really impressed what they did with Lego here. And they also added in some greebling, which really isn't necessary, but it definitely adds. I like the texture in there, little tiny bit of randomness around it. And it just makes it look more interesting than just having plain black filling in, and also allows the structure and the build to go together very nicely. You just start from the bottom of each of these lines and just go pretty much straight up with a little bit of studs on the side construction, but it's mostly very straightforward. Just allows all of that to fit together and all the spacing to work out nicely. You can also turn it around. It's Ratsra, with just a couple backwards letters there. But they did actually design this in two separate lines. And you build it in two separate lines. But once it's done, if you try to separate those out, some stuff isn't going to stay where you want it to be. Plus, this is like a tile here. So I thought that the idea was you could do this easily, but a few things are left behind, not quite the way you want them to be. So you probably want to pull some of the things that got stuck behind here, the black parts from the top, attach them to the bottom, put some of the straggler pieces back onto the top. And there we go. Now I actually have two separate things. I could do something kind of funky like that, probably find a way to get it to attach in between there. But, I can put these side by side now. I can do that kind of thing. I can make it Rats Wars, right? A lot of people want Rats Wars, right? That's pretty good. You can make it Star Straw, kind of. Yeah, I'm just a little bit surprised that they didn't make it easier to split these apart. You can see a little bit of the color that you don't want to see inside of there when you do that. Just a tiny bit just peeks through. For the most part, you're not seeing that, but just in that particular form. But most of the time, for the sake of accuracy, you're probably going to keep this together. I think 95+% of folks are going to keep it like this. And speaking of accuracy, I can confirm that this is accurate not just by looking at the actual digital version of the logo, but I actually have an official Star Wars logo that I can look at in person because I got one of these to compare. It's also something that I can have behind me just in the background when I'm streaming live Lego builds over on Twitch. And look at that. The size is very similar to between the two of these, very, very similar. So you can get a perfect comparison between the two. And well, Lego did a great job. Frankly, they did a fantastic job. This is not using any super specialized pieces or anything. It's just really, really, really well done. And they do have the parts that were necessary to make all those curves and everything. And they should be happy with it. I think they should be really happy with it. The difference between these two things here is that, this costs $60 US and this costs $25 on Amazon. Oh, also this comes with light. It's not a lot of light. I mean, I've got a really bright light inside of here, but there is a light and I can push a button and it'll kind of go in and out with its, you can't really see it in here because it's just so bright in this space, but trust me, there's a light in there. You can also hook it up to USB and it's a full Star Wars logo. Sorry, we're kind of falling slowly here, and just costs a whole lot less than this. Again, yes, I paid $60 US for this. It's 60 euros, 70 pounds UK, which makes no sense. That's equivalent to, as of right now, approximately $80 US. And it's $80 Canadian, which is equivalent to approximately $57 US. Prices in Canada are usually a little bit lower than in the US, so that's normal. But that British pound price is nonsensical and doesn't follow the usual patterns here. Very unusual. Just if you look across, if you think you can make sense of that, think again. Just look across the entire product line. Look across the history. That is not how Lego prices things. So just a weird regional thing going on there. Overall, though, I'm happy with this. I'm very happy with it. I don't like the fact that I paid $60 for it. The fact that it comes with 700 pieces doesn't make it feel any better to me in terms of the value. This is just a single clump of plastic, of a bunch of smaller pieces put together. Please, though, I must beg of thee, oh ye viewers, don't do the thing that many of you often do at this time, which is say, well, this set should have come with minifigures and then the value would have been better. Don't do that. First of all, this is not a minifigure set, but that's just an opinion, man. Second of all, if they included minifigures with this, guess what? The price would go up. If they included minifigures, it wouldn't be the same price. So if we go around saying, Lego, you should have included minifigures with this so that it would be a better value, they will read that. They actually listen to feedback, and they've got they scrape the internet for comments and things. They actually look. That's why we got the UCS land speeder, because everybody was memeing about the UCS land speeder being the next big thing that everybody wants. So they made the UCS land speeder based on overwhelming feedback from our fans, they said. So if we say this should have come with minifigures, well, the next time they make something like this, they'll do it the way they did the Marvel logo, and it'll cost $100. It'll come with some minifigures. We'll complain about the minifigures not being high enough quality, not having enough dual molding, and having poor printing and everything, and it'll just cost more. The answer to making this a better deal is just to make it a better deal. We can make it a better deal by simply waiting. Wait for it to go on sale. Obviously, I do reviews and things, and nobody wants to see a review of something a year after it comes out. So that's why I always have to pay the full retail price. And also, I'm not in one of the very, very fortunate countries where consumers are able to get immediate discounts on, huge immediate discounts on Lego stuff. Most people in the world are not, don't have access to that sort of luck and fortune. So yeah, for right now, this thing is overpriced as heck for what it is. This is not solid, and no, it's not made of Lego, but it actually has a light in it, or lights. The thing lights up. It actually looks nice in a normal room that doesn't have all these bright white lights where we are right here. And it's official. It's licensed and everything. So you can't say it's because Disney. It's not that either. It's not that either. Okay, this is officially licensed. It costs $25 on Amazon. Yeah, really cool thing though, and I am going to keep it because I like it. I like Star Wars. I like Lego. This is just a little bit of way to show pride for both. But the price, no. Bad. Thank you for watching. I hope this was of some value to you as a video, and I'll talk to you again soon.